6 PlayStation accounts, 227 Platinum trophies, and over 13,000 trophies earned. And somehow, I've restarted my trophy journey 6 separate times. This video is 13 years of PlayStation history. The wins, the regrets, the shovelware addiction, and yes, even those Platinum trophies I forgot I earned. Today, I'm reviewing it all. Across 13 years, I've restarted my trophy journey over and over again. Sometimes it was for a fresh start, and other times it was to escape that dreaded backlog that spiraled out of control. If I'm being honest, it's because I wanted that perfect completion percentage. In this video, we're going to go through every account that I had from beginning to end. I'm going to talk about the proud moments, the cringe moments, and also some Platinums that didn't really deserve my time. And by the end, I'm going to be going through the top 5 best and top 5 worst Platinums out of all 227. If you've ever restarted an account, chased 100%, or questioned why you do this hobby at all, drop a like because you are going to relate to this one. Alright, let's begin. Alright, so this looks like my first account way back. I started this one. So my first account started in, oh, there's some more games. 2011. Wow. So I was not long turned 18 by the looks of it. And looking at that second trophy right there. Sorry, not second trophy, second game. Fear 2. And I think I got Fear 3 up above. Yeah. 10%, 14%. Yeah, no way I was going to platinum those games. I mean, me and my mates were just sitting on the couch taking turns, fearing for our lives. So, recommendation, if you like horror games, go for it. If you don't bother. Don't bother. Black Ops, Infamous, wow. Some memories are coming back here now. Skate 3, love that game so much. Don't remember a time I didn't play that game, to be honest. And the whole PS3 community knows that if you don't have Skate 3, it's a letdown. It's a letdown. You need to play Skate 3. Yeah. Oh, Ratchet and Clank. Why did I not platinum you, Mr. 1, 2, and 3? Look, you were my favorite games on PS2. Jack and Daxter, didn't even platinum you. Some trophy hunter I was back here. Assassin's Creed 2, 90%. Wow, I can't believe that. That 90% joke of a trophy hunter. You got Batman, Infamous 2 again. Look, I love those Infamous games. They were absolutely a joy to play. Difficult at times, but look, I really enjoyed the game. Battlefield 3, fantastic. Battlefield 4 is my favorite, but I think I got this on the list later. Sniper Elite V2, wow. That's my first ever platinum I ever earned. And it's not an easy one, to be honest. 5 out of 10, 15 hours. Probably took me a lot longer than that because rookie gamer back these days, rookie gamer. Look, I've spoken it before on the channel about just playing this game with my mate, just in his room, a TV each, a console each, next to each other, racing to get this platinum. And look, we helped each other out with the multiplayer, and then the race was on. I won, and that's all that matters. I did win. I was the better sniper, the better gunner, and the better dodger that day. And then straight after that, Far Cry 3, know the game, spoke a lot about the game to people in the past. Do I remember much of it? No, not really. Remember me? No, I don't. Alright, there's some good games on these lists, and as you can see, a bunch of 0% because I just played a bunch of games and just didn't even think about trophies or anything. I was just playing games at the time, so it was a good time of gaming, an easy and simpler time of gaming. But you know, there's nothing I would change now about trophy hunting for sure. Alright, Battlefield 4. Hello. You are my favorite Battlefield game of all time. I mean, I could platinum you over and over again. I would play that campaign repeatedly. Man, what a game. I'd do all those multiplayer trophies again. That is one game I would platinum so many times. Even going for the DLC was fun and challenging because you had to boost a little bit, but if you've got mates, that helps out. Actually, in fact, there we go. Battlefield 4 sealed. I don't think I'll ever open you. I don't think I will. I think I got you digitally, so maybe I'll platinum this again on the channel. Let me know if you want to or want to see that. I'd love to do it again. Yeah, it might take some time with servers now, but it's on the hit list. Let's go back to the list. Well, Battlefield 4 was my last platinum, and then I just spammed a bunch of games, didn't play them much, other than Skyrim, of course. Archer's Life is an Archer's Life. Bloodborne, 1 trophy. Yep, okay, I understand why. Horrible Souls player, did not get it, had no direction, and I think at that time, being a young fella, oh well, look, to be honest, 4 years later, 22, I didn't give games much time that they needed, but look, Injustice, God I'm honest, that's when I gave a lot of time. A lot of time thinking I would be great at it. So many good games, so many crap games on this list too. And then look, ran a few PS5 games. I must have let my kids play on the accounts. Got to keep my PlayStation trophy hunting to myself. Well, that's the first account. That is abysmal, looking at it as a trophy hunter. A lot of 0%, a lot of things I could delete off my trophy list. But you know what? It was the start of my journey, start of my gaming journey on the PS3, a part of the trophy system. And look, I earned my PS3 back then, so I'm happy with that. That's okay. All right, that was fun. All right, account number 2, let's go. Wow, all right, 25 platinum trophies. That looks a lot better than what the last one was. How long ago did I start this? Oh, still going. 2016. Wow, I must have lost my account back then. And it looks like a great start. You know, Ratchet & Clank's on the list. Yeah, so a lot of games on this list. But look, Horizon Zero Dawn there. But before I click on that one and go over that one, let's just skim through this. And do you know what, let's just pull the platinums up. Because, you know, we're here for the trophies. We're here to see what I've done. And look, yeah, a lot of 0% again. Good on me. PS5 games too. All right, let's go to the platinums. Horizon Zero Dawn, first platinum. You know, back then, 2017, it was a game. It still is a game. Just the technicalities, the exploration, the whole new story. It was just, it was so good back then. So good. And then Tales from the Borderlands. Do you know what? I'm just going to say this. Don't play any other Telltale's game than Tales from the Borderlands. Unless you like the others, of course. But yeah, look, just that one gunfight when they're just pew, 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 pew. With their fingers. That was comical genius. Did Assassin's Creed again and finished it this time. Origami, once again I remember playing with my good mate and playing co-op mode, and it was really good fun. It was really good fun. A nice stealth game, that one. Uncharted, of course, finished that one. Oh, look, I've got to go back to my shelf for this one. I'll go there in a second. Titanfall on Xbox, I was like, cool, that looks pretty neat for multiplayer, but when I played this game, it was a masterpiece to me. One of my favorite platinums of all time. Let me just, pretty sure I've got it here. Yeah. Titanfall 2. I love my physicals. It's looking quite empty right now. Did do a little bit of clear out, which is a gamer's worst nightmare, but there's a few I have to keep. Titanfall 2 and that Gauntlet run, wow, that was the best challenge that a game could deliver, and it was so worth it. But anyway, Assassin's Creed Origins, that was a claustrophobic nightmare in those pyramids. Oh, made me feel so sick. There you go, Battlefield 4 again. Okay, I may have played it a bit too much. Vision, that was a grind fest. Slide. Wow, I did Slide back then. 22 seconds. I must have been desperate for a trophy back then. My Name is May. Okay, I was definitely desperate for trophies. Wow, and Rocket League. Woohoo! I love that game so much. As toxic as it is, it's just one you can go back and chill on if you're not a competitive person. Oh, but this game right here, Path of Destinies, that is ridiculous. I hated this game so much, but I just wanted to get the platinum. Hated it so much. 25 playthroughs. Okay, yep, I remember this now. Picture Burly Men at Sea, for those who have played it. We've got multiple endings, multiple stories and objectives and things to select. But tenfold, it was a headache. It was a nightmare. I cannot recommend that game less. Well, I think that's enough of account number 2, because I can see it was getting a bit shovelware-y. I don't know if the next one's going to look so great based on that end note of shovelware. Now, I don't know how this is going to go, but let's find out. All right, number 3, 105 platinums. Okay, if this is anything like what the last one ended with, I can remember now what happened with this account. And I'm a lot ashamed about it. I'm very ashamed. Let's go have a look. Let's see where this 105 makes me embarrassed. Look, there's a few PS5 games on there. Still have this account on my PS5. But look, let's just go down and see. Let's take the fast option. Huh. Yeah, okay. This is where I probably had some issues in my life. Let's be honest, I probably had some issues. I had a Vita, I had multiple accounts for different regions. I played a crud load of shovelware. Okay, I've already seen Midnight's face like 4,000 times. Alright. Okay, out of all those, Devious Dungeon, that was probably the game where it gave me a bit of a breakthrough by the looks of things. That's embarrassing, but look, it looks like Devious Dungeon. Oh, no, it's there again. It's there twice. But it looks like the saving grace of these games that sort of brought me out of it. Straight after that, Onrush. Oh, it's unobtainable now? Wow. That sucks because that was a great... I really enjoyed that game. I really did. Really did. And Cat Quest for the first time. That is a fantastic game. I still need to play 2 and 3. And a bit lazy around that. Hey, I finished Apex Legends. That's not bad. It only took me 7 months. But that's all good. Alright, I need to talk about this game. Don't play this game. Don't play it. Not a fan of speaking down or boycotting games. I don't like doing that or saying bad things about games in general. But that walking sim of everybody's gone to the rapture, not in terms of goriness, felt like that's the longest walk I've physically done in my life while sitting on a couch. After that, it looks like I came out of it again. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, such a good time on that game. Still need to play the second one. If you played Jedi Survivor, let me know how it is. I would love to give it a shot, but once again, my backlog is forever long. Look, Mad Max, look, if I could have that trophy, that platinum trophy, I'd be pretty stoked. Switchblade, wow. 1 year and 3 weeks. That was, what was that? I remember now, it was some, look, it's like a MOBA style, like these futuristic tanks and cars that shoot round, and look, it was actually really fun, and I think I just persisted to get that platinum, and that 1.66%, you know, I can't complain about it. I would not go back to it again, but it was fun to go back to every now and again. Spider-Man, of course. Jack. Once again, no platinum. No platinum, but I do it for Battlefield 5, just not for Jack and Daxter. That is horrible. There you go. Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. That was a game. That was a really good game. You know, if you're a fan of that Ghibli or Ghibli. Look, if you're a fan of that world, definitely check that game out. It was sort of like a Pokemon-esque, but also the classic JRPG vibes. It was just such a good game, and definitely worth the 80 hours or 6 months I supposedly spent on the game. Titanfall 2 again. Oh, I've got a feeling I might see that a few times. I played it so much. At least I came out of that shovelware run. I did Platinum Anthem. I've recently started this again just to try get the platinum for it, but I've done it on an old account. Wow. And that one took me 2 years. So I'm going to have to keep going for that platinum anyway. If I don't get it, shame on me. But time is a battle. Outriders, Concrete Genie, Beyond Blue is a beautiful game. Beautiful. Astro's Playroom. I think that's the first time I platinumed that. And it took so... Oh, wait. I got my PS5 for the first time around this time. Of course I did it then. Yeah, that's going to pop up a few times. I just know it. You know, I think I've played that game at least 7-8 times. I don't know. I don't know how many times I platinumed it either, but... You know, that's okay. Death Stranding, struggled with it. Got a lot of trophies. Didn't spend a lot of time on it, but I got a lot of trophies. Oh, there you go. Burnout Paradise. Now that was a trophy hunting memory. You know, more so for the 100% and getting 8 players into getting that stadium. That just showed how good the community is at, you know, coming together to help each other complete old trophies when servers are low. It's just a really good memory of everyone pitching in together to achieve what they need to achieve. Crash Bandicoot 4, putting some good stints into that. Wow. Ratchet and Clank again, fantastic. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, never again. You ruined Assassin's Creed for me. Will I ever play an Assassin's Creed game again? I do not know. I do not know, but you ruined it for me. Just purely on that DLC though. That DLC was a grind fest and so long. Mind you, the Hades battle was pretty cool. Alright, number 3 done. Well, look, that was embarrassing at the start and quite shameful about how many shovelwares and country region repeats of those shovelwares I unlocked. But you can see the turnaround and realization that shovelware is good for a period of time. But when you get out of that shovelware hunt, you know, everything starts to feel a bit better again. Wow, there you go, 3 done, 3 to go. Seeing all this, you know, why did I just not keep the 1 account? And honestly, I think it was just control. I felt like I didn't have control over my account because it was unobtainables, too many games played, and it just looked messy. And life is messy. Things change, you know, family, relationships, work, your personal goals, you know, that happens. And that's probably why I restarted 6 times. So every restart sort of just felt like a promise. You know, I'll only play good games this time and I'll get all the achievements and get that platinum trophy. But look, if you've restarted your account and you want to go back over your accounts, it's definitely something interesting. But let me know if this is something that you would do. If you want your list reviewed, drop a like, leave me a comment. I'd love to see what your thoughts are. And I'd love to check out your lists and your journey too. Until then, let's get to the other 3. Let's see what's going on. All right, account number 4. We got 32 platinums, 1600 trophies. Looking all right. 90 games played, 43 games completed. All right, let's just go all the way down. Okay, Pass the Shame. Yeah, that's better. All right, Astro's Playroom. Perfect. Call of Duty Vanguard. Look, not the best COD game, but it was still worth the platinum. And Mars Morales. Look, I loved this so much. Is it better than the first? I don't know. But just that electric abilities made the game for me. Look, we got a few funny games there. Cars, SpongeBob. Chorus, another great game. Definitely check that out. It's sort of one of those hidden gems that everyone should give a shot. And especially the flying mechanics of that game. So much fun. Rocket League again. Back into My Name is Mayo. Look, I had some issues again. Just wanted some trophies by the looks of things. Let's skip through those. Horizon again. Like, I love that game. eFootball, go Man United. You can criticize me all you want, but stay loyal to your team. Stay loyal. Extraction, I pushed through that one. Hold up. This game doesn't even have a platinum, but I don't even know why I grinded this game. Blacklight Retribution. Same map, kill after kill after kill. Just horrible. But at least I hit back with some nostalgic like Ape Escape and Hot Shots after that. Look, Sony, bring back a Cyber Tiger remake. I loved that game as a kid on PS1. Breakfast, one of my favorite demo derby games that came out. That was great. This really was a reset, to be honest. Give or take a few games, but the games I went for were definitely pretty legit. Not easy, not shovelware, but a decent challenge. Kronos from Before the Ashes, look, that's harder than a 4.5, I reckon. That's actually a tough game. And it also links into the Remnant series, so if you like Remnant or Remnant 2, go to Kronos. It was a bit of a prequel to it all. So definitely check that out if you want a bit more backstory. Didn't finish Forbidden West. Struggled with a Final Fantasy game once again. Is that all my platinums? Oh, that was very quick. I swear I had some other biggies on that list. Oh, yes I did. Elden Ring. Why did I skip past that? I'm glad I did that game. Like, Game of the Year, yes, it deserved it. Platinum Game of the Year? Probably not. Hidden amongst the 100% series, Bloodborne. That was a redeemer from that account before. There it is. Yeah, my first account, 1%. And then on the 4th account, redeemed and got the 100. Wow, that was account number 4. Definitely some good games that I got on that one. Yes, there's 1 or 2 shovelwares, but you know, overall, I think that was a pretty good account. And then I just lost it again. Just absolutely lost it. Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol, lost it. That might show why I moved to account 5. Let's just get there now. Let's go. All right, account number 5. I think this is the channel I was gonna initially start YouTube on. Yep, there's a little YouTube link there. Don't worry about that. That's okay. 53 platinums, 2,600 trophies. Not bad. Okay, I'm just going to ignore all these because this seems to be a pattern. Actually, look, to tell the truth, I tend to play this account more often than I think. I use my new one now for the channel, and then I use this one to play with mates. This is my kickback account. This is the one I relax on. All right, let's just go straight to the platinums on this one. Gardens Between, Astro's Playroom again. There you go. Bright Memory Infinite. It's a nice little game, but could have been a lot better. Final Fantasy VII, my first ever Final Fantasy Platinum. And on the original game too, which made it that much better. Some good games on this list, especially you, Peppa Pig. I think my kid mainly platinumed that one for me. That is okay. And Paw Patrol, probably you too. Okay, I remember this now. I did a 15-day platinum challenge after seeing Mystics. I saw Mayor Hair Bears. You know, I saw many accounts attempt that 30-day 30 platinum challenge, and I was like, look, let's give it a go. And I was going to post it on YouTube. I got all the footage, but I recorded it all and didn't do anything with it. Maybe until now. Maybe I'll put up some now. Check this out. Look though, in amongst that, a surprising platinum in game I really enjoyed was definitely Foreclosed. The art style, the story, the way the game played itself, beautiful. Absolutely interesting the whole way through, and one of my highlights from that challenge for sure, as well as Omno. Omno's a great little indie game there. Yes, my name is Mayo, featured again. I am guilty. God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, I finally platinumed that one back then. Destiny, wow, 100% of Destiny 1 on PS4. Let me tell you the story. I got carried by so many people and copped so much insults and flack during those raids. But I survived, I made it. Mission's done, mission's complete. I am a guardian. All right, enough about that. Batman Arkham Knight, will I do that again? No, I won't. Mainly because of those excessive challenges that you have to do, those AR challenges. Look, the collectibles, the special takedowns, but mainly because of one trophy, and that's this one right here. Brutality 101. Look, it might have just been a skill issue, but it was such a technical trophy to go for, and it's a very difficult one. I mean, 1% on PSN itself and 7.31 overall. Look, great game, but the trophies were a mission. Definitely more than 4 out of 10 for sure. I promise you that. But like I said, it could have just been a skill issue. And My Little Pony, and then I got Realm Royale again before it ended. Yet, I've got some ultra rare platinums now, or platinums for games that have closed. Servers are no longer running. But yet, I still started one more account, and this is the account you see me doing now. All right, let's have a look. 9 platinums, 339 trophies. I am going so well. First trophy was 9 months ago. Tunic, look, 1 out of 10. I do not think so. Look, unless you follow that guide where it puts you through everything and you use the cheats to get through the game, good on you. But if you do it properly and try to figure those out yourself, it is way harder. So look, Tunic, I love you and I don't like you, but a fox with a sword, you cannot turn down. The Playroom VR, Astrobot Rescue Mission. Look, I've almost got all the Astrobot trophies on this one, surely. Yeah, Astro's Playroom's up there. So I've got to get Astrobot Rescue Mission and Astrobot, and then I've got all the Astro trophies. Should I go for that? Lasso Catch Slide, my name is Mayo. Look, Shovelware was not worth it, but Lasso Catch, look, gave me good arcade vibes. 14 minutes of arcade vibes. Beat Saber, don't actually own a VR system, but I do have a family member who has one. Might have to ask a little favor just to finish Beat Saber. Pretty much the whole game by the looks of it. 1 trophy in. Titanfall 2, look, I gotta go back to that. Yes, it's the 3rd time. I know. It's a good game, but I'm gonna do it again. I've got some cleaning up to do on this channel already. Jusant, definitely come back to that one. Batman Telltale series, a great sleeping game. Spyro the Dragon, some great nostalgia. You know, you can check those out on the difficulty challenge. Anthem is on there. I have started it. Like I said, I do want to finish it, but it's not going to be my 3 out of 10 like it says here. So I'm going to keep that one a little surprise. This one is going to come out if I finish it before servers close next month. So if you want to finish that one, January the 12th, you have till then. Well, this time feels different. You know, I'm sharing the journey with all of you guys. Do you know what, that was a really short review. Look, you know, those shovelware, you know, old habits die hard, but I had to do that. You know, I did that for you guys, a little bit myself. You know, this is an account, I'm going to stay with it. I'm not going to start a new account. I'm not going to start a new account. This time, it feels different. And I think it's because I'm sharing the journey. I'm sharing the journey with you guys, and that's been important. So thank you for being a part of the journey so far. All right, enough of that. Let's go and do my ranking. My top 5 best and top 5 worst platinums. All right, so let's just start with the best, because I like the good news over the bad news. I like the positive things over the negative things. So let's have a look here first. Slot number 5, it's got to be Battlefield 4. You know, it brings me memories, brings me pride, and it is a game that I absolutely adored and loved. So much so, it still sits on my shelf. I surprisingly didn't talk about this one much because it was on one of my accounts, but it's Astrobot. Astrobot just brought back those memories, and it celebrates everything PlayStation, everything Sony. It was just pure joy. So that is number 4. Number 3, we have Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. Now, like I said before, it was just a wonderful, peaceful adventure. It had a great story. It was a bit of a collectathon and a Pokemon-esque style game, and it was a reminder of why I game. I do have number 2 here, so I might have to give it a go at some point, but once again, that backlog is never ending. Number 2 is Elden Ring. You know, it speaks for itself. Let's be honest. Elden Ring was wonderful. But in the number 1 spot, we have Titanfall 2. Its skill-based perfection and actually made me feel like I was good at a game. Look, I've already gone back, I've already done the Gauntlet trophy, beat that time limit. So now it's just time to replay the story again. If you've got stacks or platinum the game many times, whether it be on different accounts, let me know your favorite platinum of all time. Now I'm on to the worst. Gave me headaches, they gave me nightmares, and some of these caused physical and mental gaming injuries. In number 5, we have Peppa Pig. Look, loved it for my kid, but hated it for me. It was probably the longest couple of hours of my life. Yes, it took a couple of hours. Next up, number 4, we have Stories Path of Destinies. Look, 25 playthroughs, all making different decisions through the same story just to get a different ending. Look, it wasn't for me, and it was headache inducing. Number 3, guilty as it is, I've done it a few times now, but My Name is Mayo. For some of you, it might be one of your favorite platinums, but for me, it creeps back and haunts me every time I play it. And by the end of that half an hour to an hour, I don't know why I've done it again. To be honest, I have no excuses. Alright, number 2 was Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. That walking sim that was painfully slow, and I will never play it again. Look, I was just bored. But in at number 1, I've got to just say, look, it was my entire embarrassing shovelware era. They're the worst. Dozens of games, probably a couple $100, and no memories for them. Just personal shame. Alright, so where do I go from here? I'll tell you one thing, I'm not starting a new account because I've got this difficulty challenge to finish. So if you haven't checked out episode 2 or episode 1, go check those out. I'm clearing my backlog properly now too. I'm going to go through my games. I am going to platinum games I've platinumed before, but that's just for me. That's my recovery. That's something that I enjoy. And look, I'm probably going to be documenting almost every game I platinum. So let me know in the comments, what's your proudest platinum? And your biggest regret? Or have you ever started a new account just for that fresh slate? If you made it this far, thank you. Look, this felt more like a confession than anything. And look, for hanging out with me, I really appreciate you. So subscribe for the rest of the journey. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next one.